Good afternoon, Gossip Talk Show's family. It's Nonsa here at Gossip Talk Show's Find Your Own Voice, lead from within. I'm on my own today, guys, and I hope you guys are having a good time and enjoying half-term Easter holidays, those who have got kids. And so the topic today is the 30-day relationship challenge. So we're going to get into the challenge. It's just a simple challenge, guys. When it comes to relationship, there are small things that make a big difference in a relationship. Let me switch off my phone. They make a really big difference in a relationship if you actually just look at your relationship and then you see how your spouse are with you, and then just go with the flow and treat them nice, beautiful, admire them. So let's get into, let me share this and then we go into the number 1 day challenge. What you can do to make a difference to your spouse. Guys, all these things that I'm gonna share with you is the things that are normal people do. There are some people out there who are really kind, and they do these normal things. And if you are really kind, no matter how much challenges you face in your relationship, you still treat your spouse with respect and stuff. So day 1, and this is an everyday thing that you can do to you with your spouse, and ask your spouse what you can do for them just that day. Just say, honey, what can I do for you today? Anything that makes them happy, anything that it can help them to achieve whatever they want. Because when you actually in a relationship, you are serving the other person, they are serving you, and you are receiving, they are receiving. So that's what the relationship is about. So what can I do? Ask your spouse what you can do to help them achieve whatever they want to achieve that day, or just be with them and just enjoy that relationship. But just ask them what you can do to make their day better, to actually help them um, that moment. And sometimes they might say, "Oh, honey, I don't need anything," or they might say, "Just help me with this," or you yourself might actually think about something to do for them that day, and then you're checking in with them, and at least it takes some time uh, each and every day, talking to your spouse, talking about their day if they're at work. When they come home, just take time to actually each and every day when they come from work, talk about their day, ask their feelings, ask anything that comes into your mind. You know, when you meet somebody for the first time and you start dating, there's this thing where you become so curious about what they do, who they are, how their day is been, and what you can do for them. Just ask those kind of things. Just be curious about their day. Be curious about their feelings. Be curious about anything that comes in your mind that you can ask. And then the other thing, number two, that you can do, like if you give yourself a 30-day challenge, you could write these things down and say, okay, on day 1, 2, or 3, I'm gonna focus on this with my spouse, and just write it down. What are you gonna focus on that day? For those 2 days, like 1, 2, 3, I'll focus on this. And then it may be what I've just mentioned. If it's three days, then you can go to day 4 and gratitude journaling. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful about your spouse. Share them to each other, share them with your spouse. And when you share them with your spouse, make sure you look at them in the eye, and just have that smile. I know some people it's impossible to do these things, because some people, when they start dating, some people they change, they become grumpy. You find it sometimes when you date somebody, at first things are okay, but later on things become really difficult. Uh, the communication, they're stressed out, they work long hours. When they come home, they're tired. Or sometimes you find that when you try to talk to your spouse, they push you away. There are some people who are in those kind of situations. But if they do, don't worry about it. Uh, if they push you away, if you're trying to be kind to them, don't worry about it. Just try to find some days where you can actually communicate with them. And so I wouldn't know anyway. I will ask yourself, why dating somebody who is always grumpy all the time with you? So those are the questions that you might need to ask yourself. You might need to meditate and manifest happiness. If you're dating somebody who is grumpy, manifest happiness in your relationship. It can be done, guys. You can do it. For those who are Christians, you can manifest happiness by praying, asking the Holy Spirit to turn your marriage around, to restore whatever has been broken in that marriage. Because that means if you cannot communicate with your spouse, uh, that means maybe your relationship somehow it might need to be restored. So you can pray for your marriage to be restored, your relationship to be restored, or you can manifest it. However you do it, whether it's prayer or you manifest it your own way, it will work. Because whatever the energy that we bring to our relationship or to ourselves, that energy, it does work. So if we bring the energy of responding with the grumpiness because our spouse they are grumpy, that's the energy that we're gonna have as couple. But if you decide, okay, my spouse they are not in a good place, but I'm going to manifest for them to just find that breakthrough, because life it can be very, very challenging. Some people don't know how to handle it. So you can help your spouse by manifesting for them in your relationship. You don't specifically say, okay, I'm manifesting for my spouse. You manifest for your relationship, or you can pray for your relationship. It does work. Before I realized this, guys, I used to do so much talking in a relationship, and I used to like get upset sometimes. I used to get wind up, but when I realized actually when I manifest, it actually works between the two of us. So now that's what I do. If there is part of my relationship that needs working, before I can go and communicate with my spouse, I will just pray about it and fast about it and ask God to enter my relationship and raise a voice for me in my relationship. For those who are Christian, you can ask God to raise a voice for you in your relationship to restore whatever is broken. Just however your relationship is, because I personally, I don't know how your relationship is like. Maybe the communication is not good, or maybe just ask the Holy Spirit uh, to shake it up a bit, to raise a voice for you in that relationship. Once the Holy Spirit enters in that relationship, then it will shake it up. But you're going to do the work as well. You got to give the Holy Spirit something to work with. So you got to do the work. You don't just hope for a miracle. When you manifest as well, you manifest and you have to do the work. And the other thing is, if you're doing really a challenge, wanting to truly, truly get the results that you want, talking, got to zip it, got to, when I'm saying the talking, the complaining, it means avoid anger, everything, any anger that comes your way, you have to cleanse it straight away, because the anger is there to block whatever you do. So make sure that you don't let anger take control. Even if your spouse they say something that is very hurtful, because we live in this world where our lives can be tested. So if we are doing a challenge like asking for happiness for our relationship, to have that little happiness. Some people say just that little one is what I ask. The tiny, tiny happiness. That's what I ask God. So you can do that and ask God, or you, however you manifest your relationship, manifest it. It does work. I have done it in my relationship. It does work. What does not work is the talking or trying to convince somebody to be what you want them to be. It does not work. But when you actually open up and say, you know what, this is how my relationship, I love it to be. And then you got to do the work as well. So do the work and then it manifest. And gratitude journaling each night, writing down the things you are grateful of, your partner, and share it with each other. Don't give up, because sometimes we might be the relationship might be tested. It's allowed. The universe is allowed. God is allowed to test it. Satan is allowed to test it. It's a free world. So when your life is being tested, make sure that you are aware that you don't respond to the negativity. So that could be day 4, day 7, where you just focus on gratitude each night and writing down your feelings, things that you are grateful of, and the things that you're grateful of from your spouse as well. Just write all those things, and then like maybe say week 2, maybe focus on quality time with your spouse. When we say focus on quality time with your spouse, is arrange some date nights. Some people may say, I do understand that the cost of living has gone up and we also work. So you can arrange some date nights over the weekend and dedicate one evening per week to spend quality time without any electronic device. Get rid of the device, get rid of social media. What else can you do? Get rid of everything. Or if you have children, you can have somebody looking after the children, or however that you want, or you can have your date night if you don't have anyone to look after the children. Nothing stops you to cuddle up with your spouse, have an ice cream, or just get some popcorn and put a nice movie. I do understand that everybody has a nice TV. The reason why I'm saying everybody has a nice TV, because I'm on social media, I see people all the time giving away TVs like big TVs, beautiful smart TV. So I'm one of them as well. I buy TVs and I give them away on social media. So I'm sure everybody has a nice TV, so you can just sit there and nowadays we have you can actually create your own cinema at home. So just have that night with your spouse and just relax. We we live in this world where everyone wants to achieve something. When they achieve something, they create goals, and after creating goals, they want to go to the next goal. They want to go to the next goal, but just chill out and relax. Just have one evening with your spouse where you just relax and just relax and do nothing, just watching TV and just rewinding your day, not talking about work. Work is forbidden, guys. If you're having a date night, because work sometimes is stressful, don't talk about work. Phones got to be switched off, or you can put them on silence. No social media. Switch yourself off on social media and gadgets, all the gadgets, put them away. I don't know you guys, but for me in this house, there's so many gadgets that the children have. There's so many gadgets that we all share, like VR, everything. Mobile phones, a tablet, you name it, there's a gadgets like you. I can go to the kitchen and find the gadgets. Do we need all these gadgets? We don't, but they destroy relationships. So just put them away. They don't build life, they destroy life. Put them away for one night. And that will be maybe day 11 and day 14, where, oh yeah, that would be day 8 and 10. So maybe on day 14, try activities, try new activities with your spouse. Choose like maybe two activities you've never done together before. And whether it might be cooking recipes. I tell you guys, I went to the I went to, what did I do on Saturday? Was it Saturday? Yeah, I went out, guys, on Saturday. I was so tired. I went out on Saturday. I love Nando's. Nando's, the grilled chicken. I just love it. If I was to go to Nando's, I'll eat maybe even the whole chicken. When I was in South Africa, I used to, like every day, I used to go to Nando's. Not every day, sometimes maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. I would just go to Nando's and I just get this full chicken and just eat there. I just love it. So on Saturday I came back and these guys were cooking nice food, and I love it when I don't have to cook. They'd cooked a nice chicken, so they left some. It wasn't cooked, and I was like, I walked in and I was like, "Oh, you guys have cooked and you forgot about me." They're like, "Oh no, we didn't forget about you. We still cook for you." If you want it, you can eat it fresh. So they cooked this chicken. It was so nice, so beautiful. That it was so tasty. It was like it was even better than Nando's. I was like, this is amazing. So you can do that. It's either you can do it by yourself or cook with your spouse. However, that works for you. And that is so beautiful. Choose the activities that you've never done before, mostly cooking, and some people they've never done together, or it's either if somebody's cooking, somebody's washing up, but instead of somebody cooking or somebody washing up, just focus on one activity, the recipe, sharing the recipe. What's going in, babe? What's going in? It's just there. Just talk about it. Talk about the recipe. If you can find that conversation, talk about the recipe and why you like this recipe, or it's just sometimes come up with uh, a new recipe that you've never done before. Just come up and make it up and just cook and cook and cook. The reason why I'm saying make it up, guys, I have these guys in the house, they cook food sometimes, and I ask them, what is the recipe? It will be so tasty. And I'll be like, what is the recipe? And they'll be like, don't ask. It's everything. We just chucked in everything and everything. And but the food is so tasty. And so just try those activities. If it's not cooking, let it be something else, maybe going for walks together, going running together, anything that can just contribute to your relationship, or go fishing. I love fishing, guys. Go fishing. But when I was in Africa, I used to like go fishing. Like I'll go all day sometimes. But I like the African fishing because you can go to a place where specific is for fishing and then I eat the fish. Here, some places you can fish and then you put back. Like if you go down the river Thames, you have to put it back. So go fishing and put back the fish when you catch it. Just do some things. They don't have to be extremely rowing. Here in Henley, if you live in near Thames, you can go for rowing, or you can do hiking, climbing. You can do things. Just give yourself a challenge, things that you have never done before, and just enjoy it. Because when we enter a relationship, there's one thing we forget. We forget the beginning of a relationship. They forget the beginning of a relationship. It should be the everyday of a relationship. I know that sometimes the work gets in the way, children it gets in the way when you have kids, or anything else it gets in the way, stress gets in the way, or unforgiveness in your spouse, they upset you, all these things that they get in the way. But what if there was a way where you can say, okay, I'm going to make my beginning like as every day, my everyday life. In the beginning of a relationship, the first 1 year is intense. The love is alive. It's like alive, like the X Factor. Is everything is there. When you want sex, sex is there. When you want to go out, going out is there. When you want to sing, singing is there with your spouse. When you want to dance with your spouse in the kitchen, or they will do anything for you because it's the first year and they just want to win your heart. They just want you to know that they are the one. So I think those days they should be the beginning of a relationship, the first year. We should continue that that every day, even when you've been with somebody for 20 years. There are some people actually who do that. They remember the things when they met. Those things they hold on and they cherish them. And even when they upset each other, because a relationship, there will be disagreement. Even when they upset each other, when there is disagreement, they will still remember, bring gratitude in their relationship and say, you know what, regardless of everything that we're going through or whatever the mistakes, unapologetic, but I'm so grateful that this person is in my life. I am so grateful that God connected me with this person and I get to have children with this person if you have children, or I get to travel around this world with this person, or simply I just appreciate their presence being in my life. So those are the things that we should remember when we are dating, when we are in a relationship, whether we've been in a relationship for years, is the power of gratitude and respect. Some people lose the respect. That's why they can't communicate with each other. That's why they can no longer spend time with each other because they can't communicate. They can't be in the same room for 10 minutes. They have to be bickering, they have to be fighting each other for no reason whatsoever. Life is precious, guys. If you were to if you were to meditate, I give you a challenge from today. For Christians, I give you a challenge. If you say, okay, I'm a true Christian, fast like 3 days a week, maybe from midnight. Let's say if you start fasting on Thursday, let's say if you fast on Monday, just pick the day that works for you, midnight, and then you break your fast. Start from midnight and then break your fast at 6 p.m. the following day, and then midnight and continue for 3 days. Do that every week. You will see how your life will change. Your spirit, your inner being, you'll be free. If even also if you meditate, I've never done the meditation way and without praying and fasting, but it works. I'm sure it works. But I've done the meditation where I meditate in the Word of God, where I fast for 3 days or I fast for 2 days, just that connection, that activating my inner being, living in the present moment. If you are a Christian, it truly connecting with God without going to Him and asking anything. Just have that moment, is that me time where I'm just gonna cleanse myself. I know I go through stress at work, but I'm just gonna have this time every week where I cleanse myself. I do this and I do that, and just see how your life can change. It's so beautiful. You free that you feel the freedom within. You won't have time to argue. You'll be able to actually, when you are in a relationship, you will be able to just watch your relationship blossom to going to a next level, from this level to that upper level. Just it changes everything. It changes you. It changes people around you. But I have to warn you though that when you do that, when you do the fasting as well, if you're a Christian, Satan will test you as well. He will come in and say, just change your mood just like that, so that you actually tell your spouse off, even if you don't mean to do that. So you have to be aware of that. If you say, I'm going to fast, the thing that you need to avoid is anger. It meaning that if somebody comes and slap you here, you say, can you do the other side as well? You walk away. I'm not saying do that in reality, but that's what the Bible says. It means when somebody comes in and they belittle you, it means you look at them and say, my prayers are working, and smile inside and just walk away. You see how your life can change you, the happiness within you, the happiness within your children, the happiness within your spouse. It changes everything, guys. I'm not just saying it. I have done it myself where I just fast 3 days, like every week. I'll fast for 3 days or sometimes 2 days a week, or sometimes I'll just focus on my children. I'll have a prayer focusing on my children, or have a prayer focusing on my marriage. It works. It means I don't have to stress in talking to my spouse. The only thing that is like my spouse will be like connected to me. He'll be like, honey, I think we need to work on this. We need to do this. We need to do this. And I'll be like, inside my inner being, I'll be like, thank you, Jesus. My prayers are working. And your attitude has to be in the right place as well. Because if you want change, you cannot be grumpy. You cannot have a grumpy attitude. I'm not saying be happy all the time, but the truth is, if you meditate every day and then you fast, things will change. You guys, those who are following me on my personal profile, guys, you will see the changes that I have made myself. There are some people that have followed me from the beginning when I started Facebook. And when you look at the changes that where I am now, I started doing this, the fasting, since 2000, like 2008. I used to go to church and I never used to fast. I just go to church and just pray and just go to my pastor and ask him to anoint me, touch my head, thinking that I'm gonna get a miracle. but it didn't work. But when I decided to actually just work on myself and give myself a challenge, give my relationship a challenge, and my children a challenge. I do every area of my life. If I see my child is struggling with a subject, I'll go into prayer, into fasting, and it might take you a few weeks. And when I go to school to pick them up, the teacher will be calling me and say, "Wow, what a big improvement. Your daughter, she's amazing. I've got two girls. Your daughter, she's amazing." I'll be like, "Oh, what happened now?" "Oh, she has improved. Amazing. I don't know what happened." Who is it a different child? Who is, but it's still the same child? As because I give myself challenges. So just try it instead of talking. Like some people, you hear them say, "Oh, my husband is so annoying. My woman is she's so annoying." It's true. I used to think that I used to go through that as well with my spouse. I'll be like, so annoying in my heart. And I'll be like, but now I don't have to do that. That is a perfect. No, he's not perfect. He's still a human being. He will upset me some days, but I just have to look at it. When he upsets me, I just laugh and say, my prayers are working. And I just find that gratitude. But I have to tell you that if you fast as a Christian, you get lots of challenges. So you have to be aware of that. You will get lots and lots of challenges because, or either it could be in your relationship or around your life because you are taking your life to the next level. So I'm not gonna lie to you and say the journey is smooth. No, it's not, because you remember God has an opposition. So the more you challenge yourself, wanting to take your life to the next level, the opposition will challenge you, pull you down. So you've got to be aware of that and know how to respond to it, which is always the words we speak in your relationship. When your spouse comes in, they upset you, you testify the attitude that you know about your spouse, that you know what, even though my spouse said all these things, but the man that I know is not the man that was speaking to me right now. And you just testify it, and God will show you to you why he behaved the way that he behaved. The angels, the dark angels, they just come in sometimes, they will twist somebody just like this, and then they change their mood. Some of you guys have seen in my video, I went to my friend's wedding once, like August. We were fasting for 70 days. And my friend was getting married, and I went to this room and I'm sitting there. And that's why I even put that video. That's when I realized what was going on. And I'm sitting there, and this girl comes and grab me. If I did not do anything, or if God did not do anything, that day I would have died. And then she lied. She looked at every person in their face and lied and lied and lied and said, Nomsa was doing this and Nomsa was doing this. Guys, I was so belittled, so belittled. But at the same time, when I got home, I looked at my children and I was like, I'm so glad that I'm alive. But at the same time, I knew that my life was being tested because I had decided to fast 70 days with everyone, with other people, millions and millions of people. We were fasting in my church around the world. So that's how my life was being tested. I had taken my life to the next level, taken my relationship to the next level. So therefore, I had to be challenged. And my daughter, she was doing her GCSEs, and I was like, God, have a way in her life. And then she got the results that she did not expect as well. So all those things, when you do manifest, be aware when you give yourself a challenge, whatever challenge you give yourself in your life, there will be somebody else challenging you. That's how the universe works. For those who didn't know, that's how the universe works. that even that's how God works. Sometimes you may say, okay, I want to take my relationship to the next level. And then you ask God to help you to take this relationship to the next level. And you tell God how much you love him. And he'll be like, okay, this is how much you love me. You sure, Numsa? And then he will just test you a little bit. And that little bit, he'll be like, oh, I don't want to do this God business, too much hard work. And then you quit. Then in that moment, he knows that you don't mean what you say. So just mean what you say. Does it mean that God will walk away from you? He won't walk away from you, but the angel of God will walk away from you if there is anger. The angel of God does not stay where there is anger, pornography, masturbation, all these things. It does not stay around it. When you do these things that afflict your life, it leaves. So that means you'll be exposed to problems, depression, relationship problems. So give yourself challenge each and every single day in your relationship. But then when the universe challenges you as well, be prepared to stand your ground. When I'm saying stand your ground, I mean it. Stand your ground. Have a professional to talk to, having that good friend that you trust so they can motivate you, somebody who can hold you accountable. Have those kind of people that can come in and help you because that's what life is about. Good relationships. If you ask anyone who has been married for 50 years, 60 years, they will tell you that relationship comes with the challenges. So it does not mean that when you are presented with the challenges, when you're doing this 30-day challenge, you just have to say, you know what, I'm out. I used to be like that. When I'm doing this, I quit. Things go wrong, guys. I will just quit and say, I'm not cut up for this. This is not what I asked for. What I asked for, I was hoping that I thought that a relationship has to be prepared. You know, like when you open a present, it's all beauty, all glorifying. And then until I realized that a relationship is not like that. It comes with its ups and downs and challenges. So when you are doing those good things, trying to do good, and you are presented with a challenge, how you respond is the critical component of your happiness for tomorrow. So if maybe your relationship being tested, maybe your spouse says something that they don't mean, do not respond to their anger. Keep glorifying, keep happiness, keep that happiness within you. It is hard to maintain it, but when you fast or when you meditate, you'll find it easier because you are no longer living in your body, you are living in the spirit where you can't get angry. Even no matter what, you cannot get angry. I did that. I fasted for the first time when I fasted longer, it was 40 days. And when my life was being tested, went through challenges, as some of you have seen my video. But because I was fasting each and every single day, every time in my life when my life was being challenged by Lucifer, by the way, Lucifer is a man that does not play games. He, when he tortures you, he tortures you. If he throws a depression, he throws a depression at you. But if you respond, how you respond to it is how you get rid of it. He can throw sickness at you. He can throw depression at you. He can throw the torture, anything. He can actually, you can have this best husband ever. And when he shows up, he will just show up and your husband will twist like uh, within a second, they'll say something hurtful. But because for me, I was like fasting when I was going through that process of him. His condemnation. I could see, I could feel when he's around, I'll feel it. So I could feel it when whatever is being said to me, whether it's a friend, I would just look at it. I would just look at my friend inside. I would just have this attitude that I love you. I would just walk away. Sometimes I would just cry. And inside I'll be like, God, I need you right now. But don't worry, sometimes the people may not know is the process. You want to succeed, you want success in a relationship, you want success financially. It does not come easy. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say, oh wow, if you fast, everything is going to be gentle, or if you manifest, everything is going to be gentle. You will get everything that you need, just smooth. I'll be lying to you. So I'm not going to lie to you because I don't want you to give up. When you're presented with the problems, you'll be like, that's what Nomsa said. And then you'll be able to identify it. So when you are giving yourself a challenge in your relationship, make sure that those challenges comes with sometimes its own challenge. And then now we after the activities, affection now. Random acts of kindness. I try to understand your spouse's love language and surprise your spouse with the small gestures, affection throughout the day, like living, like you can write some notes and send him messages. Like if he's at work, send your spouse a thoughtful message, how you miss them, not like annoying ones, like where you send the message constantly messages. No, just send it messages like being thoughtful, like so that he make their day that you miss them. So do that is a affection, and also know that your spouse is not your friend. They're your best friend. They are your friend. You are together with them by choice. They are not your blood. But you made a choice to be with that person. You love them, they love you. But it don't make the relationship become as a friendship where there is no affection, there is no kissing, there's no holding, touching, nothing. Try to find out their love language and not the one that you think that they like. Just try to find out from them. And when you see people on Facebook, please don't try to live your life based on social media. Let's go and watch social media. Our friends, when they post their holidays, when they post the food they cooked, let's leave it there. Not comparing with our relationship, with our social media relationship. So when you see somebody on social media, make sure you don't go and start annoying your friend, your spouse, and say, "Wow, my friend, she's been on holiday twice. We've not been on holiday, or we've never been on holiday." So I just feel that this relationship is not working for me. I like to, and now you want your spouse to behave like your friends on social media. So it doesn't work that way. And let's just watch social media. Let's go on social media, admire our friends, our family, what they get up to. But we live that life there as the individual, as yourself. You know your relationship. Every relationship is based on the lifestyle, based on the personality, based on people's image, is based on their beliefs, and is based on your values as well. So your values cannot be the same like your friend's values. So they might be similar, but there will be something that make you stand out, that make your marriage, your relationship with your spouse stand out. So keep it that way and just embrace it. So if just bring up some ideas with your spouse and just enjoy, have fun with them, and the connection, connect with your spouse, share your dreams with them. Take turns to discuss your hopes, your dreams, aspiration, and for the future. Uh, a man has to have, a man is an architect. When I meet a man, I need to know what vision that man carries. A man has to have, he's an architect. The reason why we call a man an architect is he has to have a vision. You know, an architect, they draw. They are like an artist. From the scratch, they will come up with the ideas from the scratch. And then somebody has to go and look at those ideas and approve those ideas. And then when they approve these ideas, the foundation now has to be built. So a man is an architect. He has to have goals. He has to have dreams. When a man is single, he has to know what kind of a city. He has to dream, like have this movie, like, wow, one day when I have my wife and my kids, or even if he doesn't have a wife or is living his spouse, one day when I have my own family, he has to have this vision. What kind of a city he would like to live. So that's why we call him an architect. So he has to have this vision that, you know what, one day I'm gonna have my own family. We're gonna live in this city. This city is gonna be like this, it's gonna be like this. Or some people might describe London, some people might describe it outside London, or some people might describe it different things. They might have different ideas. And that's why we call it a man. He has to have a vision. And then that vision that a man has, he goes and share it with his spouse. A spouse now, she's a mentor. We call it a woman a mentor. Women who are out there watching my video, please do not spend the time annoying your spouse, your spouse. Women are designed, we are naturally intelligent. So work on your intelligence. And if you are somebody who thinks that, you know what, you don't value yourself. So I am sitting here at Ngozi Talk Shows telling you that women naturally, they are intelligent. We are born naturally intelligent. We then, because of the life, it takes over, we believe that we are not intelligent. And that beliefs become our identity. When somebody believes that I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, that becomes your identity that you have stamped on by saying, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this. So I can tell you that we are intelligent women. We are born like that. We are not born to discourage our spouse. That's why sometimes you see a, a man who is successful. They can either have they can either have a good woman behind them, is either is their mom, or is either they have a really good friend that motivates them, that mentors them. They have a coach, obviously, but a man needs a woman to put them together so that they stay in that environment where they will keep becoming an architect. So you may find that this guy, like Bill Gates, you may find that Bill Gates, maybe his mom, she was there for him. She was very smart and supporting him. Or you may find that he found his wife from a very young age. She mentored him to become, even though when you're smart or man, you could easily go the other way around. So you may find that he had somebody who mentored him, who kept mentoring him, bringing the best out of him so he can be what God has created him to become. So that's why women are mentors. They mentor their men. If you are listening to me, please, when a man brings an idea to you, never discourage them. Do not discourage them and tell them that their dreams are too small or too big, or just dismiss them completely. Sit down, listen to the idea, That's our job. Our job is to listen to the idea, and then we have to make sure that that idea comes to reality by supporting the idea, by making our spouse think that they can be anything, even inside we are scared for them. Our job is not to show them fear, but is to cheer them up and say, you go for it, honey. Go for it. How do you want me to support you? What can I do for you to make this dream come to reality? Our job is to encourage, not to discourage our spouse. But some people, they don't know. Every person in a relationship has a role. He's an architect, she's a mentor. He's a teacher because he teaches the reason why a man is a teacher, he teaches his children the family values and beliefs. And then him and his woman, they will live by those values and beliefs to be a good example of the good example to the children. So that's why we call a man is a teacher. He will bring the values, he will put everything to the table to his children. And this is how you want to live here. These are the rules. You got to live by these rules. This is how, not rules, guys, rules destroys principles. These are the principles of life. So you live by those principles. They help the children to actually succeed. I lived with my parents. My dad never ever told me off, not even one day. Not even one day. And my mom never told me off. But it doesn't mean that I got away with things. I didn't. Because what they did, they used to manipulate my mind, guys. They used to use the psychology in me, in all the children. They'll be like, they'll be really nice and just explain that when you cross that line, you will know who is the boss. They will just sit down in a very, very kind voice, just explain the principles of the house and how what they expect from us and all those things. But my parents never raised a voice, and I'm glad that they never did because I got closer to them. When I got closer to my parents, it means every time I had problems, I will go, instead of going to somebody else, I'll go to them. I'll open up to them because they made me realize that we are not perfect. No one is perfect. And they let me know that they are the boss, they are in charge. I have to live by their principles until I move out from their home. So those are the things that I remember. Even when I go out and start being naughty, I will remember that sweet voice. I will be like, I don't want to be on the wrong side with my parents. And I'll just go home because they're not telling me off the love. They manipulated me with love by giving me so much love in a way that when I go out and become naughty, I'll feel guilty and I'll go home instead of continuing with my naughtiness. So those are the things that, but you can do what works for you with your children. If you have children, what doesn't work? But I don't believe in, I used to think like smacking children and hitting them, it works, but until I had an encounter with Lucifer, that's when I realized that actually hitting children into God's eyes is a sin because they're innocent. They cannot defend themselves. You cannot hit something that cannot defend itself. So that's how God says is that if you hit an innocent child, that could be a sin to death, or it can cause sickness, it can cause depression to parents, it can cause chaos. And those are the things that when he appeared, sometimes he would take over and wanting me to raise a voice over my children and like he get angry. So I was started praying. Why does it do that? Then I realized that actually children are innocent. We are meant to explain to them, and we are meant to speak to them. We are not meant to hit them, although some parents believe that hitting a child it works. Yeah, it works. But to God in the third heaven is a sin because you are hitting an innocent child that cannot defend themselves. And when they are older, it can affect them because they'll be like, why did you smack me? Why didn't you explain? Because they don't know that. So all those things is the things that I didn't know until I actually realized when he was actually doing that, that actually the kids are not meant to be smart. You're meant to explain to them, and then they can decide. We can do our best as parents, but I'm not telling you guys what to do with your children. You can smack it, just give it a smack. But to me, that was my discovery, because I just like I was interested. Why does he want my behavior to be this? And when I do that, then I realize that actually children are innocent. And that's why everything, when you are a child, everything you do is succeed because you don't think that you're not enough. When you are a child, you think you can be anything. And that's why all dreams come to reality for children because they think they could be this, they will be this. But then now we have social media. When I was growing up, there was no social media. And I didn't know the things that I know now or the things that my children know now. So all these things now they take over uh, life. So you can do that, and then a reflection and appreciation. Maybe on day 30, reflect and appreciate your spouse. And for those past 30 days, and appreciate each other's company and the effort that they put and the effort that you put in that relationship. And throughout the challenge, you remember to communicate openly and have fun in the process. Life is all about fun and understanding your relationship needs in that process. And feel free as well, find some creative ideas that you can actually um, you can do for yourself. So those are the things that I think that would be for 30 days, just putting them in a small chunks is ask what you can do for your spouse that day, every day, all without correcting, like maybe go all day or maybe all week without correcting your spouse, like thinking that their way is not the right way, your way is right. Just go with the flow. And when they come from work, they're tired. If they've done something they've upset you that can wait, give them a hug and a kiss. Appreciate them in that they're home. And if they are not out there at work, try to think about good thoughts as well because it helps them. You don't know how they're gonna get home. Car, you don't want them to you don't want no harm. There are some people that have told me stories that they fight with somebody fights with their spouse never return home. They die. They get a phone call that this person died. So try to make sure that in the day when your spouse is not there, think about the good stuff. And I mentioned cooking a nice favorite meal your spouse, or just creating activities, things that you've never done before for the first time, and just do that. Put at least maybe 2 date nights or 3 date nights or 4 date nights a month, or maybe one if it's hard. Uh, make sure you remind them how much you love them, not in an annoying way like, honey, I love you, honey, I love you. No, that's annoying. Just remind them each and every day how much they mean to you and mean it as well. Some people, they just say it because it's the word, and the words are just part of it. They will just say it without a meaning. So just say it with a meaning. And I say this: if your relationship is not going well, please manifest for your relationship to manifest, to have a fulfilling relationship. It works. I'm not talking about the things that I've never tried before. Manifestation, prayer, or you do it prayer, it works. It takes away too much stress, so much. That's why I really, if I'm with my, if anything like happens in a relationship, or if there's something that we need to solve, I will go to prayer first. That's what I do. I go to prayer, I'll pray about it. And when I come to him, I know that I'm not going, there will be no argument. I'm just going there to solve the problem. If the argument is there, that means my prayers are being challenged. So I need to know straight away how to respond to that argument. So do that, guys. Uh, a relationship is meant to bring joy to you, not pain. Admire your spouse. Don't remember the beginning of a relationship. It has to go around each year. Forgive your spouse when they make mistakes. No one is perfect. So don't expect them to be perfect. And some people, they're very, very judgmental, like every single word. They will judge a person based on every single word. So that's why you need to manifest, you need prayer, you need to fast, so that you can get rid of that energy. If you feel that your spouse, they are so negative, it can change, guys. If you're dating a negative person, and you really, really love them so much, you don't have to get wind up. You don't have to get stressed. Just pray, and pray the right prayers. Your words are the critical component of how God is able to answer your prayers. Don't go to God and say, God, my spouse does this, it does this. You, whatever the outcome you want, God, raise a voice for me. Do a miracle in my relationship. Let the blood of Jesus that raised Jesus from the dead, let it speak in my marriage. If you are a Christian, let the blood that raised Lazarus, let it speak in my marriage, in my relationship. Let it speak life, because that means if your relationship is covered with the negativity, that means your relationship is dead. Resurrected with your words. The words are the critical component of what your tomorrow will look like. If we speak negative, there will be negativity. If we speak life to it, there will be life to it. If you are not a Christian, find negative positive words to speak to your relationship. Ask God to raise a voice for you, whether it's a relationship, whatever that is. The blood, Lazarus, that raised Lazarus, it means there is nothing above it. God is above everything. It means when you ask him and say the blood that raised Lazarus, he knows that that means you want him to settle your marriage how you want. Just say, God, I need a miracle in my marriage. Let your voice, let it speak in my marriage. And just how you rewrite your story. If you are a Christian and you believe in the Bible, and those are the things that you can say. And what else can you say? Uh, what else can you say if you are a Christian? Yeah, if if your marriage is covered with pain all the time, you can ask the blood of Jesus to wipe away the battles that are that veil that's covering the darkness. Ask him to wipe it away, and you just mean what you say. And also you can speak to the earth, because God is the creator of the earth. The earth is God. God is the earth. So all those things, guys, you can just speak the words and speak. And all these prayers, you can go and find them on YouTube by you, Dr. Olukoya. Whatever the problem you go through in a relationship, you just type, it will come up. Whatever the problem you're going through, type, you come up, and then you just say it out loud. It will just work. And what else? What else can I say? I think that's it for now. I don't want to give you guys too much information. So if you're watching me from our YouTube channel, guys, please do subscribe to our channel on LinkedIn. Please follow me on all my social media. If you're watching me on Facebook, guys, please join the group Unique Billionaire Mindset and be on our network. And Ghost Talk Shows group as well. We have two groups. And follow me on Instagram as well, guys. And what else? And Twitter as well. And go to the website. You need coaching, go to the website, sign up, and we'll get back to you. Or if you're simply looking for love, go to the website and register. And once we get your details, we'll get back to you. We'll access your application form and get back to you. And the process is very simple and very easy. We meet all our clients face to face. It's a matchmaking introduction agency. It's not a dating app. So if you pay, we have to meet you to find out how we can help you moving forward. The process is it's like you're hiring us to do the work for you. And while you continue with your daily task and work and everything, stress free, as long as you're willing to choose the right partner and make an effort to go on dates. That's all we ask. God bless everyone. I will see you tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm with Dr. Bigot. So see you guys tomorrow, and God bless. Live with grace.